City, close to downtown.
My name's Collette Costello. I've been living here for 5 years. I'm a principled conservative. I believe in the Constitution of the United States of America. I believe in the Bill of Rights. I believe in our First Amendment, freedom of speech. I believe in the Second Amendment. I've also been your current precinct committeeman, and I have served as a delegate at the convention where I voted for true conservative leadership. I have helped get the vote out. I have also served as the secretary of the Ada County Republican Party. I have began to open the party into being transparent and to support that grassroots within our community. And it's just been really important for me to make sure that you guys, your voices are heard, because we are representative of our neighbors, and that's why we do what we do. We want you guys to participate. We want you to vote. We want you to tell us what you need, what you're worried about, so we can turn around and talk to people like Mary May, talk to commissioners like Ryan Davidson, bring it to Josh Tanner, take it to our senator. Whatever our neighborhoods need, that's what the precinct committeeman, that's what our job is, and that's what I want to do. I want to get true conservatives elected, and I want to support my community.
Colette's a friend. She's done an exceptional job as the PC for 1403. She's dedicated, she's hardworking, she cares deeply. And more than that, she's a true conservative Republican. And that's what we need to work for all of us and on behalf of all of us. The one thing that I am so overly impressed with Collette is there was a time when other members of the executive committee with the Ada County Central Committee decided things were getting a little too rocky or tough. I don't really have a whole lot of insight as to the why there, but they chose to walk away, and everybody walked away except this young lady right here. She honored her commitment. She stayed there. She dug in. She worked hard to keep the party on track, moving forward in a positive direction. And I think for that and the exceptional job she's done as your PC up until now, she certainly deserves another stint with the county and to represent all of you here in Eagle.
I see what's happening in the city of Boise with Lauren McLean. I met Lauren McLean in 1998. I was working on a political campaign for the state controller of the state of Idaho, who was a very conservative Democrat. He'd be laughed out of the party if he tried to show up there today. His name was J.D. Williams, pro-life Democrat. Lauren came from Notre Dame to Idaho, and she wouldn't let us in the room when she was making strategic decisions about campaign stuff. J.D. was the only statewide elected Democrat at that time. She wouldn't let us in the room because we were pro-life and we were more conservative. I've known from that moment on that she was the kind of person that if she had a chance to control this state, it would ruin it forever. And so I want to make sure we're pushing back against what the city of Boise is doing. You look at what's happening in the city of Boise right now. They have a task force on homelessness. You know who's not a member of that task force? Who wasn't invited to be a participant of that? Bill Roscoe, the head of the Boise Rescue Mission, the most successful homeless service provider in the area. They weren't asked to be a part of it because they require accountability to utilize their services. If we don't act now, it's going to be too late.
I've been a PC since 2002, and back then it really was just a group that would kind of rubber stamp whatever the party bosses and the governor wanted to do. And back then, probably 50% of the seats were vacant because nobody cared, and there was really no purpose in serving. Who wants to just be a mouthpiece for the elites at the State House? It really wasn't until 2008 when I really got invested in the presidential race where I saw the opportunity to sort of utilize the Central Committee to push the Republican Party in a more conservative direction, one that actually cared about limiting government and freedom. And so I went and beat the bushes, and I found every person I could to file for these little precinct seats, and most of them were vacant, so my candidates got in without a fight. Well, that did not sit well with former Governor Butch Otter, and really he's been on a tear ever since. Butch Otter had kind of done a complete about-face as governor. He used to be known as a solid, limited government, libertarian, stand up to the feds kind of guy when he was lieutenant governor. And even when he was in Congress, he was one of only 3 Republicans who voted against the Patriot Act back after September 11th. Then he runs for governor, and it's been the biggest backslide and disappointment I've had in my entire political career to watch him become just a complete establishment tool, you know, and really turn his back on all the principles and values he had. Ever since then, we've been kind of building on that momentum, not just in Ada County, but around the whole state, to build a more conservative party grassroots movement to make sure that we can elect leaders that we're more comfortable with and that we're not just kowtowing to the governor. A little bit, every 2 years, the Democrats would make more gains in Ada County until finally 2018, they got that 51% and they beat they took over 2 of the 3 county commission seats, giving them a majority for the first time ever. 2020 comes around and Donald Trump is on the ballot again, and the Democrats, as we know, pushed insane COVID policies in Ada County, especially in Ada County. All of a sudden they have this massive amount of power to shut down the entire economy and say you can't open your business and you have to wear masks. So I decided to run for this seat in 2020, and again I was running against Diana Lasciondo, who was a rising Democrat superstar. Diana raised for this county commission seat $250,000.
Wow.
It was the highest amount of money by 150% that anyone had ever raised for Ada County Commission. And so I was probably outspent 10-1, if not more. Trump was on the ballot, who energized the Republican base like we never seen before. And so he helped get myself and Commissioner Rod Beck across the finish line, returning the majority to the Ada County Board of Commissioners. So that was exciting. Year 1, we were able to pass a $12 million property tax cut. First time in 40 years that the Board of Commissioners was actually able to cut taxes. We're also doing a project at the landfill where we're partnering with a private energy company, and they're building a facility that will capture all the methane gas that comes up from the landfill, and they will scrub it and convert it into energy that we can actually sell. I mean, of course, we always look to Portland and Seattle and LA to go, this is what happens when a problem gets out of control, especially with the homeless. So we don't have that problem in Ada County, but it's all coming, and we have to have good policies now to be ready for the future.